to keep in his pocket for the next journey. My father thinks about the bombs and baby blossoms dropping all around the world. That old poem comes to mind, the one written by a miserable leper who wanted someone to love but could never bear being seen. Who wants to buy the moon? I'll sell it to you. Oh, to be young and dirt poor, thinking that the world belongs to you, turns out to be almost true.
Chapter 1. Morning Glory. On the day of Vince's release, you could hear his laughter thundering through the entire neighbourhood. It was February 1998, the centre of summer. The timbre of his voice shook the trees and rumbled through the streets, tearing through the delicate seams of silence. He was with his posse of old friends, the type of kids that carry knives in their back pockets. Maybe it was a trick of the light, but it was almost as if he had never left. There was Vince, sipping on his sugarcane juice. There was Vince, with his gleaming gold necklace, the jade Buddha nestled contentedly between his newly defined pectorals. There was Vince, with his sunny smile and over-gelled hair, lying in the Woolworths trolley as somebody less important pushed him along. There was Vince, never less than vibrant, always pulsating, always looking as though he was about to break out of his own body. He leant his head against the back of the trolley and looked up, as though the sky were an upside-down valley of fine powders. He sucked in a violent breath and closed his eyes to ecstasy. "Do you smell different?" his friends asked, amused. They watched how his face, once young and boyish, caught hold of the light, how it transformed again and again with every ripple of sunshine, as if to resist its own identity. What kind of secrets did the past 2 years hold? Vince's body rocked to and fro against the rattling trolley cart which rushed into gusts of air. He smelled the cooking that seeped from the houses and the stench of soiled mattresses on the curb. "Nah," he said finally. "Smells like home." Everybody was his friend. The stray cats with swollen eyes purred as he tossed them fried chicken. The Bible-swinging madman on the street corner. Vince smiled at him too. There was no pity in his eyes as he watched the man preach the book of Revelation to a gathering of pigeons. He was so unlike the other passers-by, who scowled and lowered their gaze. Even the sun reached down from its interstellar home to touch Vince's skin and beam into his eyes, saying, "Look at me. Look at me." Cabramatta welcomed her son back with quiet rejoice. The sidewalk trees, which usually surrendered under the battlements of dusty brown apartment buildings, seemed to straighten their spines. Further up the street, front yards spilled with offerings to him. Those who lived in their own houses took advantage of every inch of property that bore their name. In their gardens, they planted massive lime, dragon fruit, and mango trees. Families boasted bathtubs of fish mint, coriander, and sawtooth herbs, and draped luscious winter melons on hardwood arbors. While their neighbors were cultivating personal rainforests, the apartment dwellers chafed within the confines of old bricks and concrete slabs. Some were fortunate enough to enjoy garden views from their balconies, but those who lived in units which faced inwards could only stare miserably into each other's eyes as they hung their laundry out to dry. The trolley cart came to a halt, and Vince jumped out. He crept into a garden and stared in awe under the dappled shade of a mango tree. He intended to only take the lone fruit that had fallen on the grass, but the others hung lowly on the branches brushed before him, draping the sunshine over their voluptuous figures, beckoning. He tore the 2 chubbiest mangoes from the tree, scooped the mushy one up from the ground, and hopped back into the trolley. After prying apart the golden skin, he drank from its gently fermenting flesh. Then he whipped out his pocket knife and carved into the others. He only ever used his